Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I got one hand tied behind my back, unfortunately, because my phone, though it is working, the other one that would give me all the information I need, there's no Wi-Fi in the building this weekend, so yeah, can't really tell you everything in real time that I would like to. Hopefully, they can get that fixed rather soon, so it doesn't affect other things that we do here going forward for the summer. But yeah, there was a big trade this morning that I can't not speak on. Desmond Bain was traded to the Orlando Magic for Cole Anthony, Contavious Caldwell Pope, 4 first-round picks unprotected, and a pick swap, which is like one of the worst hauls I've ever seen. Like, that is one of the worst trades I've ever seen for Orlando. The Memphis Grizzlies get the greatest haul one could ever imagine for Desmond Bain. And you have to wonder what Phoenix is going to be able to get for Kevin Durant. It was rumored that Phoenix wants 10 first-round picks. No team even has 10 first-round picks. They're trying to get a team to come together to send out so much that they could acquire 10 to send them. It's never going to happen. But I would have told you this was never going to happen too. Desmond Bain's contract, he's on contract through 28-29, if I'm not mistaken, with the contract increasing up to like $44 million near the end of it, making like an average of like $36 million a year. Contract is awful. It's awful. Meanwhile, you got Contavious Caldwell Pope, who has I believe it's a player option on a $22 million contract that it extends through 26-27. So he's only on, these contracts are going to be expiring at the end of the year. So they got 2 years left on both of those contracts. Cole Anthony's only making $13 million for the next 2 years. He has a team option on his, so his contract is fantastic. Cole Anthony's contract is amazing for what it is he's going to be able to do. Now, I don't know what the fit looks like in Memphis, because Memphis got Scottie Pippen. Memphis obviously got Ja Morant. Contavious is now in place. They got a lot of players playing the guard spot. I don't know that the absence of Desmond Bain really opens up anything, given the fact that they're bringing in 2 guards and moving out Desmond. For Memphis, this is amazing. This is like a lifeline to Memphis's future, because they did have some things looming ahead that could be a little iffy. The presence of Ja Morant and the uncertainty of whether or not they're going to keep him. The Jaren Jackson Jr. situation, which in my opinion is a little shaky, because he's up to making supermax money, and I don't know that you want to pay him that if you're Memphis. This gives you an opportunity to have the leverage in those circumstances to not hold on to those players or get amazing hauls for those players, because you move your worst contract. Now the flexibility is not only in place for the absence of the money that you've sent out in that contract, which was terrible, but now you bring in back an entire haul of future of picks that you can replenish your whole team if you decide to start over. This is one of the best trades in the world if you're the Memphis Grizzlies. You couldn't have asked for a better haul for such a terrible contract. Terrible contract. In Orlando, I've been telling people Orlando didn't know what the hell they were doing 2 years ago when they made the draft selection of, what's that young fella they picked up? Jet Howard. They took Jet Howard in the first round, near the top of the draft, like they're 12th in the lottery or something like that. He was supposed to go in the second round. All consensus was telling us this, you could have got this kid at the beginning of the second round. And they drafted him and haven't put him on the floor since. 2 years, they haven't put him on the floor. That told me right there, their front office didn't know what the hell they were doing. And everything after that has shown me that exact thing. Giving Jalen Suggs all that money, and now they bring in Desmond Bain's albatross of a contract. On top of that, you got Franz Wagner and Paulo Banchero. And if you think Desmond Bain is the answer to all of your problems, you are out of your mind. Orlando, they need to fire their front office right away. Everything they've been doing over the last couple of years is just horrific, man. And I do think they're a playoff team right now. Desmond Bain is definitely a nice player, but there are some things about his game that doesn't match the contract. He can't create for himself. He's not a particularly great defender. The arm length is legendarily under what you would expect. I mean, he's known for it. He shoots the three, but doesn't necessarily find himself being a connective piece. It's just not. It's not even reasonable. You're moving on from Cole Anthony, who's a guy on a fantastic contract, who does all types of good work for you. I do think they needed to make some room with their guard spot, because we know they're going to probably bring in a guard with their pick. If they didn't throw the pick into this situation, which they may very well have, I'm not really sure. You send out 4 picks in a pick swap. Maybe one of them was the pick that they have this season. I don't know. That information wasn't released to us as of yet. But, yeah, they have a guard jam there in Orlando that they did kind of shore up a little bit by moving on from KCP and Cole Anthony. But Desmond Bane, again, is a guard. He could play some 3 at times, but he's a guard. When teams don't respect what draft equity is all about, they end up doing stuff like this. When you don't understand that draft equity is not only something that can bring you young players, but also something that can create flexibility to get you in and out of circumstances, you make mistakes like this. Desmond Bane is league-wide and understood that Desmond Bane should not be on the contract he's on. That contract, like I said, it's got another 3 years on it, 4 years on it. It's not a good contract, man. He's not that. Memphis they paid him that because they drafted him and they value him, and they had a core that they didn't want to let go of, and he was a big part of that. But to say that he's on a contract that's worth swapping out 4 unprotected first-round picks and a pick swap on top of two players, one of them on a really good contract, it's just like you can't make up the stupidity here, man. You know, if I'm the Orlando Magic and I knew what I was doing, I'm making the Memphis Grizzlies give me a pick to take that contract. That's how that actually is supposed to go. That contract is a salary, though. So I just think Orlando needs to immediately fire any and everybody that okayed this. That's what I really think. I think they need to fire immediately anyone and everyone who okayed this. You are not. When it's time to retrade Desmond Bane, you're not getting half of that. They could try to retrade Desmond Bane right now and won't get half of that. Not half. It just shouldn't have been done. And I can see if the contracts they were sending out were terrible contracts, but they're not. KCP contract is going to be expiring next year. He does have a player option. He may even decline that depending on what the market shows. And Cole Anthony's contract is excellent. A $13 million dude, he's going to be worth more than that when he hits the market. And he has a team option. So if you, for some reason, don't want him on the team, or if he has some type of catastrophic injury, you can null that, and it's an expiring contract right now. That is a good contract. In fact, a very good contract, given how well he plays. This is stupid. This ain't nothing short of stupid, y'all. This is stupid. Talk about paying for your own demise, man. The Orlando Magic said, give me something terrible and I'll give you something great. That's exactly what happened right there. It's awful. So I just want people to understand this. I do think Orlando on the basketball floor could potentially be a better team. Are they better than any of the teams they need to be better than in order to win the championship? I don't believe they are. No. Are they better than the Pacers? No. Are they better than the Celtics? I mean, of course not when Celtics are healthy, but this is a wash year for the Celtics, so we can kind of wash them out coming up for what they got going on. Who knows what they're going to look like. They're probably going to tear a lot of that down. But, like, are they better than Cleveland right now? No. Are they better than New York Knicks right now? No. Not right now. Not to me. They got more moves to make if they want to be better than them. So it's like, this is something that is going to bite the Orlando Magic in the backside. There's 0% chance, in my humble opinion, that this is ever going to be worth it. I don't see it. I don't see that ever being worth it, man. This is bad as certain trades that you tell people not to make, and then you fast forward and you see it doesn't work out, and you say, see, I told you so. This is, in my opinion, about as easy as I told you so as anything, man. This is bad. This is bad. So that's pretty much what I gotta say, man. The Orlando Magic, they got Desmond Bain on a terrible contract. You move on from KCP, probably one of your better on-ball defenders. Uh, Franz Wagner, Desmond Bain, and Paolo Banchero, I guess, supposed to be sending, and Jalen Suggs, hopefully he comes back 100% healthy, supposed to send the Orlando Magic into the future or something. I don't know, man. This is so bad. And the thing that makes it worse is when you have as many picks as Orlando had to give, and you don't allocate them properly. It's the same thing I said about the New York Knicks and some of the decisions they made to send out picks and stuff like that. When you have great picks and you send them out like this, you make it so that you can't undo the mistakes that you made. And then from there, you end up stuck to what it is that you have. And this ain't nothing to be stuck to if I'm Orlando. I can see this trickling down to them having to move on from Franz Wagner. Paolo Banchero's not going to be in a situation where you feel like you can win. They're going to probably want to retrade that Desmond Bain contract. And like I said, they're not going to get for it what they sent for it. This is not happening. Remember when Bradley Beal was acquired by the Phoenix Suns? It's not as bad as that because Bradley's on a terrible, terrible contract with a no trade clause. But this is a basketball equivalent. I mean, you're not getting nowhere with this. Desmond Bain is a glorified Bradley Beal without the shot creation. Really, it's just terrible, man. It's awful. So when it fails, we'll come back here and tell you, see, that's what happens when you don't respect pick equity. And congratulations to the Memphis Grizzlies for just getting a lifeline here, man. A real lifeline here. I just think the NBA has some bad front offices right now, man. The Orlando Magic are a bad front office. The Phoenix Suns are a bad front office. Dallas, one could say, is a bad front office if that wasn't an orchestrated attempt at moving Luka to the Lakers by the entire league, which I actually think that was. But if you're looking at it on its surface, it's a bad front office, man. They got some bad front offices. And when you look at a team like Oklahoma City Thunder, who have benefited from bad front offices doing stupid stuff, you can see where more of the same is going to happen going forward. If these teams keep on making decisions like this, they're going to make certain teams just so much better than the rest of the field because these certain teams that they're doing this for are going to be able, if they make good decisions, to soup up their roster to be better than everybody else. So it leaves your league lopsided when you have teams like Phoenix and Orlando and Minnesota who did what they did for Rudy Gobert. The Clippers, when they did what they did for Paul George. It leaves your team in a certain situation where you do have teams that are able to pick up the pieces from people's mistakes and build great teams. And that's the future of the league right now. That is the future of the league. So that's pretty much what I got to say, man. Orlando fans, I'm so sorry, yo. I'm so sorry. BDF44, I thank you all for watching.